Hi guys, welcome back to Gorbies Garage. As you can see in the picture, the back glass has arrived. I just want to say a huge thank you to Pinball Back Glass 80 on Instagram, based in Italy. Absolute pleasure to deal with. Hooked me right up there, and the quality is incredible. It looks amazing. You know, probably not even a week from door to door, wrapped to within an inch of its life. It could have been dropped from a Hercules and it would have survived. So if you need an old glass for an old game, look at the Instagram page for Pinball Back Glass 80, and you know, buy with confidence. Great communication, great packaging, great quality. You know, you can't ask for anything more. So big shout out to them. Quick update on the Rocky. So Jim Askett, My Pinballs, has had all the boards for a week or so, and he has done a miraculous job, turned them around, got them all working. Many hours on the bench, head scratching and swapping ROMs and changing components, and he's got them all working. What a legend. So they've been returned to me and I have them. So theoretically we have a fully working Rocky. I just need to reassemble it and plug it in, which I'm extremely nervous about. So what I've done so far is I've just taken all the trough metal work off, because that was disgusting. I've just polished that. I'll show you that later in another video. All the wiring's been put back on the 5 flippers, one down there somewhere. My soldering is atrocious. They're just such tiny tabs, and you've got, on some of them you've got 3 wires, and just trying to get, you know, the wires hot enough to melt the solder, it's just impossible for me, because I'm useless at soldering. But they're on there. It's not pretty, but I think we're good. Haven't spoken to Jim regarding the... Scared the shit out of me. Door slamming. Haven't spoken to Jim regarding the drop targets. Let's lock that. Sort that out again. I was concerned why the wire, the common wire, was off all these switches. See the purple wire there? And when he got the driver board, there was 8 transistors which were fried, all associated with the drop targets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 3 of the drop targets were still good, which explains why the wires were still on one of them. And 8 drop targets had this common wire removed. So basically all of the transistors, I'm assuming for these 8, were fried, so they've just taken the wires off to stop the coils burning up. So I will have to do some stringent checks on those to make sure they're all good. But what he was saying is basically the early Gottliebs were badly designed boards, as we all know, but in the fact that they used a lamp driver to drive the coils, so they rather quickly would burn out, because they just weren't beefy enough for the job. And unfortunately that is that's all you can do with those boards, is put a like for like one back in. But hopefully with home use and minimal use, they'll be okay. And I've bought 10 spares just in case. And you know, unless I was to get a Pascal board which sort of redesigns it with beefier components, that's my options. And I'll go through what this machine owes me at the end. But you know, suffice to say, a £50 machine doesn't mean a thing if it's not working. But yeah, we'll break down all the costs at the end. So yeah, that's where we're at with Rocky. Just still polishing metal, still fixing mechs. I think the next proper video I'll do on that is when we plug it in and we can go through the emotions together. Ciao for now. Right, quick little update then. Excuse me. Starting at the top. So I've taken apart the trough and cleaned and polished all those bits, and I'll put that on when I've cleaned the playfield. So I'll keep all that off for now. All the flippers obviously were done, and then starting at the top here and then all the way along, I've taken every single one of those brackets off, all the mechanisms off, dismantled it, ultrasonic cleaned it, degreased it, bit of polish where necessary, reassembled, checked all the coils for intolerance, checked the diodes are good, reassembled, and that's taken me bloody hours. And then so I've worked my way down, and now we're on the drop target. So I've taken the first one off, and that's a baptism by fire for me. I just dismantled it again, took it all to bits, put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, polished bits where necessary, new drop targets in, and reassembled. And that's taken me bloody hours because I kept putting it together wrong, back to front, upside down, targets in the wrong place, you name it. I made every mistake you could possibly make, but it is nice and clean, and they drop nicely and raise nicely. So that's one down. I just need to compare it with, luckily I've got one 3-bank that's wired hopefully correctly and assembled correctly, which I've been using for reference. If it weren't for that, I think I'd just burn the bloody thing. But yeah, that looks nice and clean, and nice action on it. Just hopefully pray to God that the reason why all those common wires there were removed was because the driver board was fucked. I just hope to God when I wire that up and plug it in, nothing starts to catch fire, because I'll just let it burn. Ciao for now. Possibly the fiddliest job in the world ever is getting these purple wires back on the switches with things like pig's tits like I've got. It's almost impossible. So I've managed to clamp it with these tweezers, and I'm basically just holding the soldering iron anywhere I can get it in. And I've done one, got 2 more to go on this bank, and I've got to do those 3 and those 5. Oh, torture. But we're getting there. Man, I shit you not, putting those wires back on those tabs was not even like, probably it was the most frustrating, fiddly job I've ever done in my fucking life. I wish I'd have filmed it. I was just swearing the whole time. People walking past my house must think I'm mad. Never want to do that again. It's a mess, but getting hands like a bunch of bananas like mine in that gap with a soldering iron, which needs 2, sometimes 3 wires on one little tab, never to be repeated. I almost literally gave up and considered just getting someone to come and do it, because I never thought I was going to do it. But I did it, and that's on, and it can stay on forever because I'm never taking it off again. So all the drop target banks are on and wired up hopefully correctly, using gas logic. We'll soon find out when we turn it on. So all the sort of important mechs are done now, the flippers and the drop targets. So the final thing to do is the pop bumpers. So I'm just going to take those to bits and clean them and reassemble them. And then that is everything. I think before I strip the playfield and clean it, I'm just going to change the cap in the bottom of the cabinet, check my voltages there, and I'm going to switch it on before I clean it. Hopefully that will incentivise me to clean it really quickly. So yeah, another boring update, more just cleaning. Ciao. Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a while, I've been busy at work, so I haven't done anything for about a month, and I've forgotten where I'm up to. I've just got bits everywhere, and made perfect sense to me at the time. A month later, however, is a different matter. But all the pop bumpers are off. I've just cleaned everything, checked the diodes and the coils and everything, taken out all the bits and cleaned those and reassembled them. So I'm just waiting for the new lamp holders to come in, and then I'll reassemble all the pops. But that is it. Everything else is done under here now that I'm going to touch. So I've just gone through the fuses. They should have 2 amp slow blow according to the manual, and all the pop bumpers. All the fuses were 3 amps. They're not huge, but I'm not sure whether that's a good modification or not. So I've taken them all out and just gone back to the manual, and we'll see how long they last. One of them, I think it was F14 or 15, is going to be a 2 amp, had a 36 amp in there, if I'm reading it correctly. Crazy. So yeah, everything done there. Just going through the fuses. These diode boards here, a couple of them have got resistors in instead. I'm guessing they're supposed to be in there. As was pointed out to me, this common wire on this side doesn't extend to where the resistor is, so, which would suggest that perhaps, where's it gone? That's supposed to be there. So the next job is to replace this cap. I'm going to snip this red wire off. It goes back to this sort of coin interface board for a newer coin door. I'm guessing that is just a voltage supply, power supply for that board from that cap. So yeah, I'm going to remove that, replace that now, do those fuses, and then we might even be ready to switch it on. A bit like someone who goes to the edge of a diving board to jump off and then just walks back and contemplates it for a little while. I'm so nervous about turning this bloody thing on, just for the amount of money that's going to cost me when it all blows up. But yeah, be back soon.